Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Have you noticed that over roughly the last half year, XRP has had a number of first time in history moments? Well, the most obvious one would be the first time that a cryptocurrency consolidated for about 7 freaking years, the longest consolidation period in crypto history, and then burst to the upside, which, by the way, was completely predictable. I was insisting, along with tons of other people in the community, that of course that was the most probable outcome. Well, we got another first in history, XRP, and something pertaining specifically to Ethereum, as XRP continues to be the top performer out of all large cap coins. We also have this headline from CoinDesk: Hidden Road set to be acquired by Ripple, wins US broker dealer license. Okay, and so we knew, I guess it was about a week ago, that Ripple would be purchasing Hidden Road, and it's just a massive deal, $1.25 billion purchase. I want to talk to you more about this latest development, winning the US broker dealer license here, and what that means specifically for XRP and the XRP ledger, because there is no other coin on the planet that I'm aware of anyway that is going to benefit from anything even close to like this, not at this scale certainly. There isn't anything. XRP is uniquely positioned here. We are talking about XRP and the XRP ledger functionally being used here. And this is in addition to every other use case that you already know about, including XRP as a bridge currency. Yes, more utility. XRP is an obvious early winner in the crypto space. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. So take a look at this right here, XRP ETH monthly returns. Going back just about to the beginning of time. Or actually, no, it literally is. So not the beginning of time for XRP, but comparing against ETH. So Ethereum was launched in 2015. So yeah, this is everything. This is every single month here. And this is shared by chart analyst Dom, and here's what he had to say. This is the first time in history XRP has outperformed Ethereum for more than 5 months in a row. How much longer will this last? That's cool as hell. That's one more thing you can look at just to acknowledge and recognize. XRP has just been ripping the rest of the market to shreds. I had the pleasure of reporting the other day that XRP is literally the #1 performing coin since the election in November out of the top 100 coins. That is astonishing. Remember, XRP was supposed to be dead. It was supposed to go to zero, especially after the SEC attacked. Except note, because it's one of the most useful, functional, technologically advanced cryptocurrencies ever created, and hell no, it ain't going to zero. So, and now, to be clear, at some point, you're going to see a month where ETH outperforms. And actually, in the short term, I'm even fine with that because historically, Ethereum, when it starts running, that kicks off alt season. And also, it has taken such a beating recently, price-wise. I mean, markets always find a bottom, so it's going to rip to the upside. So I do believe in the short term, you actually could see ETH outperform. But by the end of the cycle, you'll look back and still be like, oh, that's right. XRP did make Ethereum its little bitch. That's what we're going to look back and say, and it will be gleeful. A gleeful moment. Here's another post from Dom. He says, over the past 5 months, XRP has quietly surpassed Solana in overall liquidity, maintaining an average 1% market depth of $10 million. That places XRP as the third most liquid crypto, trailing behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's cool as hell, because again, XRP was supposed to be dead and go to zero, except for an idiot stick if you thought that. And here we are. Reality will always catch up with you and smack you right in the face. And that is what's happened here. To all of the naysayers, all of the irrational XRP haters, those sons of bitches with XRP derangement syndrome, now how you gonna act? Seriously, how you gonna act? Here's a post from chart analyst Bobby A. He said, I think that once XRP flips Ethereum, the flippening narrative coupled with the incoming ETF approval season will be what sends XRP into that $8 to $13 price point. Okay, I can buy that concept. Now, of course, other things have to happen, like I was talking about in my very last video. We got to get this tariff nonsense straightened out, but I firmly believe that is by a lot the most probable outcome. And then you got global liquidity. You got gold that's probably going to have its final hurrah before dipping to the downside. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's so perfectly primed to continue to move to the upside. It leads the market. Altcoins and XRP would then follow. XRP would melt faces. Firmly believe that. So if you're talking about Yeah, XRP flipping ETH. When that happened, mind you, of course, it's happened several times in the past. When XRP flips Ethereum again in market cap, do you understand the amount of attention that's going to result in XRP receiving? People didn't want XRP when it bottomed at 28 cents in June of 2022. They didn't want it. It's going to zero, remember? There's a lawsuit. The government says no. Remember that? They didn't want it when it was 28 cents. They didn't want it when it was that cheap. But when it flips Ethereum and then you have a huge, gigantic green candle, everyone will do that meme from, what's the character's name? Fry from Futurama. I think the character's name is Fry. Take my money. You know, he's holding the bills. It's going to be that. They're going to see the big old raging green candle, and it will be a take my money moment. It won't be about utility. It won't be about all the stuff that we know, which will ensure XRP's long-term viability. It will be about euphoria in the market, and so much money will flow in that I will not be surprised if we see double-digit price action. Now, I don't make price predictions myself. I'm not a chart guy, mind you. But if that happens, I will not be surprised. I absolutely would not be. Somebody named the crypto villain responded to him and said, if/when XRP flips Ethereum, that usually marks the top, probably around $8 or so. Bobby said, that number is constantly changing. It can flip Ethereum right now at $3.27. Folks, that's a low bar. We were above that. Just a couple months, we were above $3.27. We got to $3.40. And that would be a higher market cap than ETH now. That's pretty wild, right? It's coming. I think it's most probable that we're actually going to see that happen. Anyway, but then he responded and said, realistically speaking, though, when XRP pumps next, that means the entire is market pumping. He means the market, I guess, is entire market is pumping. But he says, anyway, including ETH, so XRP would have to keep going higher to get that flip, probably closer to that $8 to $10 area. I want to sell out around like $5 to $6. I don't want to play too high up there. And it's true. That's a reasonable point. You could see price get way higher before that moment hits, but talk about adding fuel to the fire. Even if it's just that last final burst for the cycle. Okay, I'll take that. Anyway, Bobby says, I'm not so sure. XRP could rise as Ethereum remains suppressed. Obviously, I'm rooting for what you just wrote, but it's not the only way this could play out. And folks, we're going to find out together. Here's a post from chart analyst X-Force Global. He's got an XRP chart on the left, then Solana in the middle, and Ethereum on the right. And highlighting XRP continue to be a mega winner here. He wrote, cycle wave comparison analysis. XRP is in a league of its own this cycle. XRP is in an impulse. Solana is in a correction. Ethereum is in a correction. Elliott gave us the blueprint. We just execute. So, I mean, not that I necessarily am convinced that we're going to see the price points that he kind of squiggled to here, especially for ETH. I don't know that we're going to see it get that low. But what he's pointing out here, and I'm seeing all sorts of analysts speak along these lines, especially, not that all analysts do Elliott Wave, but or focus on that. But I am seeing this. And so this idea that XRP is in a position to continue that move to the upside, and as he's citing here, XRP getting closer to $20, that's not crazy. If XRP gets to $20, that's not crazy. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that is well within the confines of reality. That concept is. Here's the headline now from CoinDesk. Hidden Road set to be acquired by Ripple wins U.S. broker-dealer license. This is badass. This is some of the biggest freaking news having to do with XRP that has ever come from Ripple. Maybe the biggest. Like, it probably is, frankly. Because of the scale of this thing. Like, this is something that is more likely to quickly be adopted than XRP as a bridge currency even. And even that seems like a no-brainer. But anyway, reads as follows. Hidden Road, the prime brokerage firm that's being acquired by Ripple, has obtained approval to operate as a U.S. broker-dealer from the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA for short, the company said Thursday. The license, granted to its subsidiary Hidden Road Partners, CIV US LLC, will allow the firm to expand its fixed income prime brokerage platform, according to the press release. With the broker-dealer status, the firm plans to offer institutional clients a broader range of regulatory compliant services in clearing, financing, and prime brokerage of fixed income assets. This is a significant step in the development of Hidden Road's fixed income prime brokerage platform and bolsters our capabilities in traditional financial markets, Noel Kimmel, the firm's president, said in a statement. The development follows Hidden Road's announcement earlier this month that it had entered into an agreement to be acquired for $1.25 billion by Ripple. And so there's a reason that David Schwartz called this a defining moment for XRP and the XRP ledger. Because it truly is. It's not too much to say something like that. If you didn't know the specifics, you might be like, more hyperbole. No, this is real. You're talking about presumably there's massive quantities of assets getting traded for entities on the institutional side of things, tokenized on the XRP ledger. That means that XRP itself is required literally for every single damn transaction. Now, as that instills the confidence, long-term viability of XRP, that just means as the crypto pie keeps getting bigger, more and more money over a span of years and decades will continue to flow into XRP. Specifically because it makes sense and people will want to diversify, just like they do in the stock market. XRP is a very clear early winner of the crypto space. It just is. And like I was saying at the outset of this video, I'm not aware of any coin that is even almost similarly situated to be used in this capacity and at scale. Nothing else like this exists. This is a first at this scale. Nothing else at this scale. And it's for XRP, and this just came out of nowhere. Like, we didn't know this was coming, like about a week, I guess a little over a week ago now. But here we are. And that's on top of every other great reason that XRP makes sense and deserves to be around for decades and decades and decades and decades, if not longer. I find it astonishing, folks. It could not be more obvious that XRP is a winner, and just there's still some people that will fight it. But when you fight reality, like I said, eventually it catches up with you. It's going to smack you right in your stupid little face. XRP wins. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say are right. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.